Hello Art 1 students, this is going to be a brief demonstration how to use the dabbing technique to get a texture on your drawing. So I'm using a wood pencil, and you could do it with a mechanical, but it's very difficult because you need the side of the lead of the pencil. So first thing you're going to do is sharpen your pencil if it's dull, because you need your side of the lead to be long. Alright, and it doesn't really matter what brand of pencil. Long as it's a 2HB is probably the best. And you're going to use the grip. Remember the writing grip? We're not using that. We're going to use the palm over grip. So I'm going to zoom out. Here's your hand. You're going to put your palm down, then you're going to pick up the pencil, pinch it, then it's going to be the palm down, or the shading grip that we talked about in class before. So the dab is really just kind of like pushing off. The term dab is just to touch down, and in this technique we're going to touch down and push off. So here's an example. I'm in the palm down grip, and I'm going to push off. Now if you don't get enough of the lead, you won't get a broad or a wide stroke. So here I'm going to do it again, making sure the side. See, I'm getting a broader stroke, and I'm getting a texture. And you space apart your dabs and leaving some paper white in between, and it will give you a texture like shading. And this is very ideal for feather texture. Okay, so that's using the side of the pencil, and we're using the dab. Now there is a part of the Falcon where I ask you to dab with a point, but that's more of stipple. So that's more using the point. You go back to a regular grip and just use the point. Alright, so where it says dabbing with a point, you could do that too. But when it says regular dab, go back to palm down grip and go ahead and do that. And keep in mind, on the Falcon, the direction you're dabbing in. So in the close-up of the example, you want to dab in this direction on the cheek, and same thing along here. You want to dab in this direction along the side of the top of the head. And as you notice, the dabs get further spaced apart up as you get towards the eye, and there is some spacing up here in the cheek. So over in this area, I overlap the dabs, so they almost basically form a solid type of shading. So you can start with spaces and fill them in, and you get your cheek feathers. Then when you're done, to get that nice light feathered look on the edge, once you get your edge done, say this is this edge, you want to use your tip and just fine tune it. Give that nice light feather that's going off to the edge. Okay, so that's that area. Real quick, when you're going into the bottom part of the wing or the arm, these are little kind of like rice grains. And say if you have these Nike swish type of spaces, and those parts are going to stay white. So here's an example. So what you're going to do is you're going to just use your pencil, And these should be kind of light. They shouldn't be too dark because they're just kind of like a spacer. So make sure they're erased back. Then you're going to do consistent, equal, little black shapes of like a sesame seed or grain rice. And make sure they all go in the same direction, same size. Make sure they're in there fairly tightly. So every time you have a Nike swoosh, you will keep that as a spacer, white spacer, and you'll just go on the bigger areas. You will do that. Okay, so make sure you focus on that. It might take a while, but you have to focus on it. You have to be diligent, and you'll get your results. Okay, so that's about it, and you'll see from your overall example here all the areas. And the solid shading, you can use solid shading, regular shading carefully in this part from A6 to basically about 3D to the bottom. Then you'll start dabbing along here and stay inside your lines, and it spreads out. And also there's dabbing here. And make sure you use your tip to get that nice feather look up here as well. There's solid regular shading here. Make sure you get that nice detail. It kind of resembles a Pokemon ball, as you see. And that's solid shading, and there's a reflection of your light source. And then over here, near the front of the eye, it's like a repeating line. It's not really shading, but it repeats over and over again. So get that detail. Then over to the beak, that outline you're gonna stipple with your tip of your pencil. Go along that, and as well as here in these areas. You could shade traditionally here, then it transitions into some point stippling. Same thing here. This is solid shading. You can use the side of the pencil to get it nice and even. Then it transitions down here to the dabbing with a point, or just they call it stipple shading. And then you're basically done with it. All right. Remember, dabbing with technique. Sharpen your pencil. And use the palm grip. Turn it over. And use the side of the pencil and go in a direction with your artwork, which is diagonal. Okay, so that's it. And you want your strokes just short enough so you can have that space in between, like so. All right, so that's it. And good luck on your assignment, and focus after you outline everything. Work on your shading technique. If you're a right-handed person, shade from left to right so your palm stays clean. If you're left-handed, you would start from the right, and you would start from the right, and you move over to the left. Okay. All right. Good luck, Art 1 students. We'll be looking forward to your finished artworks.